Hey guys, thank you for tuning into my channel, and we're going to get ready for our week number 4 UFL picks. But before we get started, do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button for me, and also leave your comments below at the end of this, whether you disagree or not. Also, I would like to apologize for last week, the way I taped my show, because I was under the weather. I was at the hospital, so I was very late with my picks. Also, we had a Tuesday night game, so that didn't help. But this week, we're ahead of it. The games ended last night, so I was able to put together pretty much the spreads, the over and unders for this week, and hopefully you guys can cash it in. We did very well with the money line, so hopefully you guys cashed in on that. So let's get started. We have the Louisville Kings at the Houston Gamblers. And guys, I got to tell you, I'm not impressed with the way the Houston Gamblers played last week, getting blown out that way. It was very disappointing. It seems like they just didn't show up. And I feel like Kevin Sumlin's going to get his team up. I'm pretty sure they're going to be ready to play this week. But also the Louisville Kings, being that they're 0-3, but they are a good team. They really are. And this is why this week I'm going to take the money line on the Louisville Kings against the Houston Gamblers. I think they're just more talented right now. Houston's having trouble at the quarterback position. Two key injuries with Deckers and with Nolan Henderson. Kind of like they had to start their third stringer, Tunga Viola, and it was really tough for him to perform against the defense of the DC Defenders. But with that said, I think one of them will be returning back. I believe it's Hunter Deckers. Um, this is a tough game of bet. So you guys could go either way with who might win on the money line. But I think I feel pretty good about the Kings winning this game. But I will say that the Gamblers could come out and play this game tough. So I'm going to money line the Kings. I'm going to take the over of 38 and a half. I believe this game could get up there, could get towards the 40s. Maybe both teams could get scoring, right? And I'm going to take the -3 for the Kings. I think they're 3-point better than the Houston Gamblers. That's the way I feel right now about this game. This is a very tough game to bet. So hopefully you guys can make a better decision than me and cash in. But I really feel good about taking the Kings in this one. All right, let's go to that second game. Dallas Renegades, probably the hottest team in the league, going up against the Columbus Aviators. Unfortunately, they lost their head coach, Ted Ginn Jr., to a DUI arrest. God bless him. I hope everything works out for him down the road. I really hope he takes care of himself. Get yourself right, Ted Ginn. Yeah, that's more important than anything else. And unfortunately, that was the night before the game, I believe, 2 nights before the game, and Ty Haley took over. But they didn't look that bad last week. They got that offense moving, but I don't think it will be enough against this tough Dallas Renegades defense and also the red hot Dallas offense. So it's a no-brainer for me. I'm going to take the money line on the Dallas Renegades. I believe this could have a over and under of somewhere around 40 or 39 and a half. I'm going to choose the over of 39 and a half. It could go as high as 41. I think I'll still take the overs. The overs have been hitting this season. Okay. And with the spread, I think they should be 7-point favorites. I believe the line might open up as -6.5. So I believe the Renegades are the favorites for this game, right? I mean, that's obvious, right? They're red hot. They're the hottest team in the league. So that's how I'm going to roll. So let's head to the next game. And this is probably the best game of the weekend. You got the St. Louis Battlehawks heading down towards the DC Defenders. This is becoming one of the great rivalries of the UFL. I love it. Unfortunately, it's so early in the season to have this game. I wish it was at the back end of the season, which probably would have meant a better game. Maybe it could still be that great game, but maybe it would have had more of like a playoff implication type of game down the road. But anyway, we get this great matchup, and this is a tough one to pick because you see a little bit still of undisciplined defense by the defenders. Even though they were blowing out the Gamblers, you kind of saw the defenders becoming undisciplined, yet unraveling at the end of that game. Even though the score doesn't indicate, there's a lot of undisciplined play by that defense in the back end of that defense, okay? But we're going to money line the defenders, right? Because I just feel that the quarterback play of the Battlehawks is just not there. I'm not having trust with Brandon Silvers. And then when they brought in Frosty at the end of the game against the Stallions, he threw some key picks that could have really derailed them at the end of that game, and possibly they could have lost that game. Okay. So I'm not happy with the quarterback play. I think that'll play into it. They do have weapons in Hakeem Butler. Okay. But I just feel it won't be enough against the DC defenders. I think they'll find a way to blitz. I think they'll find a way to the quarterback, rattle him, and they'll come away victorious. So money line the defenders. I believe it'll be a high scoring game. Okay, so go with the over. I think it should be somewhere around 42 and a half. So take the over of 42 and a half and take the minus 2.5. I believe the defenders will be the favorites. They'll be at home anyway. I'll show you the whiteboard in a sec. So the final game is the Orlando Storm heading to the Birmingham Stallions. And guys, I'm very disappointed in a very talented Birmingham Stallions football team. They're coming off really a bad loss against the Battlehawks. I don't know if this is a AJ McCarron situation where maybe he doesn't have that Skip Holtz type of mentality. Anybody that remembers Skip Holtz coaching his team, he would really let you know what was wrong, would probably get in your face more. I don't see that from AJ McCarron, although there was segments where they did show him getting on top of the offensive line and stuff like that. But something is definitely not right. They're slow starters, and on top of it, they kind of go through the games sluggish with their offense, and then all of a sudden they'll open it up. They become explosive. They certainly have the talent. I mean, Deon Cain is explosive. They have Anthony McFarland. They have, I believe, the tight end, Jordan Thomas. This is a very talented football team. This is a tough one to pick. But I believe the favorite's going to be the Storm. If they're the underdogs, I'm still going to take them, which means that I'm going to money line the Stallions in this one, okay? I know I just said that I might take the Storm. This could go either way. Just like the Louisville game against the Gamblers, this game between Orlando and the Stallions, wow, this is a tough one to bet. I know the Storm has been playing well under Anthony Beck, but I think they'll take their first loss of their season at Birmingham. I think the Stallions are going to be upset the way they lost that game to the Battlehawks. They'll be ready. AJ is probably going to change up a few things, get them ready, start off fast, be more explosive. Matt Corral could definitely play with a no-huddle offense. I think they steal a victory here, but not by much. I might even go with the plus 2.5 in this game. I don't know if the Storm's going to be favored. Okay, guys, if the Storm is favored, okay, then take the plus 2.5 for the Stallions. If the Stallions are favored, I might still go with a plus 2.5 with the Storm. I think this game's going to be close. Okay. This is a tough one to bet, but I'm going to money line the Stallions, guys, and I'm going to take the over of 41.5. It should be up there. There should be some scoring in this game. And I'm going to put a plus 2.5 on it. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you the whiteboard. Guys, you need to run to your casinos, your local casinos and sports books. Cash these in, all right? If you guys cashed in the money line last week, you guys were victorious. We went 4-0, okay? So I'm proud of that. I do take losses on the over and unders. It's been very difficult with that, and sometimes with the spreads as well. But we're doing well with the money line, so pay attention to those. So I'm going to show you the whiteboard. The whiteboard's going to show an asterisk of the tough bet. So you're going to see like a red asterisk next to those games. Okay, so hopefully you guys get these. Run to your local casinos and sports books and your sports apps, whether it's FanDuel, DraftKings, MGM, 365, whatever. Okay, so let me show you this whiteboard. It's not as big as the other whiteboard, so I hope you guys can see this, right? Let me show it to you. Can you guys catch that? All right. You're going to see right there, right on the bottom, it says tough bet. Let me bring it in. Can you guys see that? All right, guys, so there you have it. Those are my picks for week number 4. Again, I apologize for last week for being out. I tried my best from the hospital bed to give you the picks. They were late. I'm so sorry. Didn't really get much comments during the week, so I understood that because I was late posting up. But I'm healthier now, thank God. And hopefully you guys get these picks early and get to rush to your casinos. Guys, really, these are going to be a tough week 4 matchups, especially that first one to open up on a Thursday night. The Kings at Gamblers. That's a tough game, right? That's one of those where are the Gamblers going to rebound from an embarrassing loss? Are the Kings finally going to get their first win? They're certainly talented. You know, as far as the Renegades, that are the hottest team in the league, going up against a team that lost their head coach due to DUI, and we just pray for him and his recovery. Then you have the DC Defenders, a very undisciplined but tough defense to play against, playing against their rivals, the Battlehawks, which should be a great game. And we're taking the Defenders in this one because it's at home. Don't trust the quarterback play of the Battlehawks. And then, of course, the Stallions are really the question mark of the league, the talent, the dominance they've been, and all of a sudden they're 1-2. So if AJ McCarron could get this team turned around with a quicker start, a more up-tempo offense, they could pull this game out. I feel they'll get this victory. The Storm will probably hang in there, and Anthony Beck will take his first loss. Anyway, guys, thank you for tuning in. Yet again, hit that like and subscribe button for me, and I'll see you next week for week number 5. Guys, cash this in this week, and I wish you the best. Thank you, and leave your comments below. Yet again, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you.